I think of vocation as a kaleidoscope, and the colors that I bring to my vocation are constant. But depending on the season of my life, the season of the school year, where my needs are being called, where my energy is being devoted, perhaps the light is hitting it a little bit differently or things are shifting a bit. And so I don't think of vocation as something that's static, but I think of it as something very dynamic.
Many people have different views of what vocation is. I like to think vocation is being in tune with God. And the image that comes to mind is a dance move, me and God dancing. In the beginning, we are still trying to understand each other. Over time, we forget the moves and fall in love with each other. The dance moves might change, the directions might change, the tune might change, but when the heart and the other heart meet, you know what you're doing.
I've come to appreciate that the big vocation is to love God, and that expands over the course of years. So we understand what it means for us to love God, and then we better understand the world and how we are to respond to that world, given who we are and given the world that we see and encounter. So rather than vocation being a singular thing, a singular role, a singular job, it's in fact a way of living one's life in response to the needs of the world and response to the God who calls.
My time, 3.5 years here at the STM, many things have happened. I've explored a variety of courses at the STM, and many of them have challenged me to go deeper, to look at the other side, to not just feel comfortable with what I already know, but to challenge myself to trust what the other is saying, what I'm reading, what the professor is saying, what my classmates are proposing, and then going back into the silence, going back into the dance, and saying, what does this mean for me?
My work as an educator in the classroom is to engage the diversity of the world in productive ways and ask, well, what could that mean? What might God be saying in that?
When I started my studies here in the fall of 2014, I was a graduate assistant in the admissions office. And it was really exciting to have these really exciting classroom experiences with people who were grappling with the same questions, but coming from radically different backgrounds than I did. And that was augmented by the behind the scenes work of articulating the identity of the STM from my work in the admissions office and accompanying prospective students in their discernment as they were imagining, how do I best serve the church and the world with my gifts?
I'm always trying to, myself and invite students to see the diversity of the world and see it with the eyes of God's grace, with the eyes of love and compassion, and ask ourselves, what more might God be asking of us?